Good morning again. Did everybody have a good practice? Good. Okay, today Dharma talk. Let me introduce today's speaker, Toru. I think he's going to introduce himself because I just met him today.
Good morning. Can you hear me okay? Yes. Very well. My name is Toru. I've been here for the last few years now. I've been having a really good time, and I always enjoy the meditation here. And every time I do meditation, we always control our breathing. And then I started thinking, so what kind of a benefit do we take from the breathing? So I thought it's going to be a kind of fun idea to introduce the breathing. The breathing is a funny thing that we can do that consciously and subconsciously. We inhale air, we inhale oxygen, and then we breathe out carbon dioxide. I really don't want to get into biology and chemistry because I don't want you guys to fall asleep. So, as a human being, other living animals, we breathe in oxygen and then we breathe out the carbon dioxide. And the funny thing is, like other plants, they breathe in carbon dioxide and they breathe out oxygen. So every time you see a plant next time, make sure you tell them thank you for helping us out. The plant's giving us the oxygen, which is more like a fuel for our body. Whenever we bring in oxygen, it comes into the lungs. The lungs take up all the oxygen into the blood, and the blood's going to carry all the oxygen into our heart and the brain and throughout the body. And having enough oxygenated blood into your brain, that's going to help us out, bringing a more of a calming effect to our body. That's why it helps during the meditation when you breathe in, breathe out. That's gonna make us calm down. Once you are able to calm down, you're gonna be able to reduce your stress, anxiety, and sometimes even panic. Like a lot of people, when they go out on the stage, they always take a deep breath and breathe out. I knew that I had to do a talk today, so I've been doing the breathing since last night because I don't want to get too. And the funny thing is, a lot of smokers, they are good at relaxing themselves. So, every time they go outside and light up the cigarette, what they do is they take a deep breath in. I'm not recommending smoking is good. But what they do is, they take a deep breath in and they breathe out. They do that for 5 to 10 minutes every hour. They usually get more break time than the other people. That's not really fair, but... And I wanted to bring up the few different techniques. I know that the breathing is not really those techniques are not really a one-size-fits-all. There are so many breathing techniques out there. When I was a firefighter, I just retired from a local volunteer fire department after spending 20 plus years. Being a firefighter, we have to wear the mask to go inside of the burning building. During the practice, we are always taught that the skip breathing. So what we do is you're breathing and stop breathing for a few seconds and then breathe out. So we call it as a skip breathing. It works pretty good. That way we can consume our air because, we have to carry the bottle, the tank on your back. That usually lasts about 15 to 25 minutes. It depends on what kind of shape you're in. So in order for us to consume air, we practice skip breathing quite a bit. The other techniques that we hear a lot is a box breathing. Have you heard of box breathing before? So it's just like drawing a picture of a box in air. So what you do is you inhale a few seconds, and you hold a few seconds, and you exhale a few seconds, and you hold. It's very, very difficult breathing personally. I tried it a few times, but it wasn't for me. But that's another techniques a lot of people practice. The other one is the belly breathing. I know that a lot of people do that quite often. Some of the guys, they're already, doing a great practice like over the years. But so what belly breathing does is you extend your belly, and that's going to bring the diaphragm down. So that's going to bring air. Actually, you can bring more air inside of your lungs. I know that a lot of people, they breathe like with your shoulder or chest. But once you can practice the belly breathing, you can bring more air into your lungs. I've heard that there are some, I think it was a Navy, they do quite a bit of a breathing exercise because they knew that the good breathing exercise is going to bring more calmness in your system. That way, they're going to be able to sleep anywhere, anytime. So, and the last thing I want to bring up is the tool that we can use for the breathing techniques. Have you guys seen these Malibis? Make sure you buy those before you leave the gift store. Okay. So, Bhante Sujata always teaches us, how to use the Malibis, but he doesn't tell us that this is what you need to do. One of the examples he gave us was every time you think of one word or repeatedly, keeping the word repeatedly, just move Malibis one at a time. And what I started doing was that every time I breathe, I move these one at a time. Sometimes when I breathe in, I move one. And when I breathe out, one. Every time I think about breathing, I move one. So that can kind of give you a little bit more of a concentration of how you can breathe. So again, this is one of the great tools that you can have to practice your breathing. And hopefully this is going to give you a calmness in your life. Make sure you buy those at the gift store before you leave. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you, Toru. It was wonderful. I know he didn't encourage you guys to smoke, so that's very important because the reason is that when we meditate, that we pay attention to our breathing. Once you understand, because the breathing is different to us, how much you breathe in and how much you breathe out. Because especially when we were young monk, whenever we get in trouble, so this is the first thing they ask us to breathe in and count to 10. So when I was really mad, when they asked me to count to 10, I count really fast. So I just don't want to go. My anger goes away because I got to do something about it. So I have to fight with the other monks. So when they ask me, I will count to 10 really fast. So I still have a little bit anger left. So it's scientifically what our whole body, like Toru mentioned, the taking in oxygen, the positive, the energy that we need. When you're not well, when you're upset, what it means, count to 10 means take time and breathe in and breathe out. And that oxygen that coming into your body, the positive energy, that take out all the negative emotions and negativeness that you have in your body. That's why the meditate. There are so many different techniques, as he mentioned, to keep your concentration. So many different things you can try, but when you pay attention to your breathing, what most important is that we understand ourselves within us. That's the most important thing, because like your breathing, because sometimes we breathe harder, and sometimes it's shallow. We don't even feel it. It's the life, isn't it? Because we have a good days, we have a bad days. It's the same thing. So once you're really understanding about the breathing and the pattern of the sensation, and if you can keep this for a longer period of time practicing, that will help you to understand this so much better. So many different way of. I always said, it's just like you can follow all this, but the end result is the same. It's just like if you want to go to Chicago, you can get a direction from MapQuest, Google Map. Apple has a different direction, and then you can, of course, avoid the toll too. But you will end up going to Chicago, isn't it? It's the same thing, because we all are different and we will feel differently. That's why it's so important to understand within yourself. That's why to paying attention to your breathing is so important. It was a wonderful talk, and thank you so much.